My name's Robert Beard, and I'm starting a new YouTube channel called GreenBeard Farms, in the hopes that in the future I will be able to achieve purchasing land, planting a farm, and establishing a perennial orchard. And I hope to document who I am today, the steps I'm taking towards the goal, and everything I'm doing to establish it, all the projects, everything that's involved in this great endeavor, which hopefully will fruitfully take over the remaining portion of my life into old age and provide for me in retirement without being part of the system or the corporate machinations. Now I determined that starting a YouTube channel was the first step in starting this journey. And it wasn't the exact first step. There's a lot of inspiration. There was a lot of casting the net far and wide to figure out what options were available and what scenarios might work for me. And as I narrowed it down, I got a clearer picture. But one thing that kept resonating or coming through from all these homesteading and beginning farmer podcasts and blogs that I came across is that a returning theme was that everybody wished they had kept a journal of their early efforts. Just simply being able to go back and reflect on what you did at what time and what methods you did and in what quantities. What was a game changer to a lot of people. And once they started doing that, they're able to streamline their farms, streamline their projects, and troubleshoot better. And I thought, wow, that's great. I thought, why not share that in a public forum? And being a public forum, and me being a relative novice to a lot of these endeavors that I'm hoping to undertake, I might be able to connect with a larger, broader community and receive feedback and comments and create dialogue with my viewers that have shared experience or even more experience. I'm sure that there will be experts that chime in and tell me that I am absolutely wrong about something. And I want that. I want people to tell me when I'm completely off, because I don't have a strong community around me that is knowledgeable about these things. And I view this as one avenue. Now, the YouTube channel also has the side benefit of potentially being a revenue source, a passive revenue source, which is something that everybody, no matter what you're doing, should attempt to achieve. Because why work continuously when you can create an invention or a product that continually earns, even if it's only a nickel a day, 25 cents a day, $1 a day, over time, over the course of its life, it can add up. I see all these other YouTube channels where after they've become established, after they've hit the 5,000 viewer mark, 10,000 viewer mark, they've started to establish Amazon stores or their own online store where they're not really selling the products, but they're endorsing the products as having value from their context and their perspective in life. And they receive commission from it. And so there's all these different avenues through YouTube of gaining passive income. Once you're established, once you actually show that you have value in your content, you can also it opens up other doors also. From what I'm seeing, is that it promotes your brand, it promotes your farm, it promotes your products. It lets people see, wow, this person really is providing the best quality product, the least amount of negatives involved in growing food or whatever it is. It allows them to see how the farm works. It really can promote trust with the customer base before you have the customers. And it can also open up doors towards, if you're really providing a unique experience, to create seminars or weekend workshops. To teach people what you're doing. People get inspired about what you're doing or what you're showing on your channel, and they want to do it too. You can start inviting them to your site, to your land, and you can show them firsthand what you're doing. You can charge them a nominal fee. Some people that are out there, like Curtis Stone and Richard Perkins and John. Oh man, he's name's not running off my tongue, but John Martin Fortier, I think is his name. You know, they're charging. They started off doing lower workshops, and now they're doing $2,000 for a week. You know, 30, 40 people, $60,000. You know, for a week. They're to have people over, show them their work processes, show them complete transparency, how they're running their operations. And they're filling up these seminars, and it's all started for them by creating these video logs. And there's, I don't think I'm ever going to get to that point, but maybe you will. Maybe you're going to get inspired by what I'm doing, and you'll get inspired by what I'm doing, what I'm talking about, and you'll figure out an innovation, and you'll become the next Joe Salatin or the next Jeff Lawton, and hold these massive seminars and make money off of teaching people how to do things better. So that's that. I'd like to provide a little background about who I am, what my starting point is in this journey, and where I hope it'll end up in 20 years. I currently live in the Capital District in New York, and I have a little one-bedroom apartment, and I operate a appointment-based car service to and from the regional transportation hubs, like and colleges, university resorts. And started off taking my breaks in parks, and over the past 5 years I've been doing this. I've been gradually and slowly learning wild edibles, wild medicinal mushrooms, wild plants, and their uses. So even though I currently have no green space, I've been exploring and learning and connecting with the natural environment. So far as my background goes with growing plants and gardening, we had a small garden, home garden growing up, nothing big, like an 8x10 plot, and in my 20s I worked at a hydroponics store in Lansing, Michigan, called Superior Growers Supply, and I worked at summers at Hoffman's greenhouses, so I got to learn, the basic feel of certain things. I do home projects. I've built my own home aquaponics system. I've grown my own mushrooms from kits, oyster mushrooms, and that's where I'm at now. That's my skill set, my base. And where I hope to end up, I'm at a point where I should be able to buy property within the next year, I hope. And I've started looking at things to do with the land. Put together a lot of pieces of the puzzle on my own through casting a broad net. And I stumbled upon Mark Shepard and his restoration to agriculture concepts. And it looks like he's doing what I hope to be doing, and he's been doing it in a way that's moderately successful. He doesn't really talk about his failures or the things that he did that didn't work. So I think there's a lot of holes or possible misrepresentations in what he's doing, or the scale, or just the workflow. Like there's pieces of the puzzle. Misrepresentations is probably the wrong word, but there's pieces of the puzzle that I think he's deliberately leaving out that are necessary to make a plan. But anyway, that's a tangent. I get off on tangents sometimes. So what he's doing is he's basically creating he created an oak savanna food forest silvopasture system, which is you grow nut trees and fruits in alleys, and you grow alley crops in between the rows of trees, and then you run you have some acres set aside for your goats and pigs and cattle and whatnot, chickens. And then you run those animals through the orchard at specific times to do cleanup of the orchard, and all the systems work together. And that's kind of where I hope to end up. He's got a much larger piece of land than I think I could ever land on. He's got 100 acres. I'm aiming for 20 acres. And so I have to find a way to connect who I am today with who I hope to be. And I have to find a way to provide for myself and be sustainable through every step of the process. And that's a real challenge, because the orchard system takes 20 years for these trees to grow. Trees take a long time to grow, right? They take 5 years, 3 to 5 years before the nut trees start producing. And without having any kind of background in real farming, I'm hesitant to rely on an alley crop system to provide income. Like, I definitely think I could provide for all of my needs. So those are the challenges. I think I've isolated some steps along the way, which I think I'll put into another video. But it's basically, today I'm starting a YouTube channel. Soon I'm going to start a Squarespace store, and I've learned how to make a few. I'm not an expert, but what I know well. I'm going to start a small online store for medicinal mushrooms and other herbs, which should start the brand before I actually have the land. Once I get the land, I'm gonna have to clear it. It's gonna be covered with weeds. So weeds are most weeds are medicinal or they're edible, and so all of a sudden I have a new product base. I can start clearing the brush with goats and sheep and cattle, whether I owe them or rent the land out to somebody else. That's a question. I can start small farms. I can start a nursery plot for my perennials, and that nursery plot can simultaneously, hopefully, I'll be able to sell or trade young perennials, young trees and bushes and fruit trees, and at the same time propagate the land to establish the orchard. And then once the trees are in the ground, they should be starting to produce food. Anyway, those are the broad strokes. I think that's enough for an introduction. This is GreenBeard. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you, and have a good day.